Hello and welcome to the Helios blog. My name is Helios. Today we're going to talk about how women's attractiveness is like a sports car. Today we have an uncomfortable topic for some. I'm going to be shattering illusions here, but at the Helios blog it's kind of what we're about. If you want to live a happy life, you need to know the truth of the world, and women reading need to know as well. Believe me, the matriarchy does you no favours by lying to you, whether you're a man or woman. My truths will not lead to long-term misery for you. Listen and learn, or ignore and be crushed. It's your decision. Off we go. Enjoying my content? Check out my blog at heliosblog.com. On YouTube, you can support me by liking and subscribing. I'm also on Spotify if you'd prefer a podcast. If you're interested in my books, The Strategist Guide to Seduction and Quotes to Live By, they're available on Amazon. In addition, you can follow me on Patreon at the Helios blog for exclusive content. On with the show. Why women's attractiveness is like a sports car. Women are like sports cars. Before the age of 16 to 18, the car is still in the shop. Once it comes out, no man can deny its beauty. Brand new sports cars are incredibly beautiful, and their beauty is undeniable. Of course, as a sports car is driven around and experiences the stresses of the modern road, it gets worn down over time. Eventually, it's no longer as beautiful as it once was, and brand new sports cars have appeared that are more eye-catching. If no one has bought the sports car by that point, no one may ever buy it. Certainly, no one worthy. When are women most attractive? Women are most attractive in their rockstar phase, age 18 to 23. There is a visceral reaction that men have to young women that's undeniable. Of course, some women reach their rockstar phase later and some do earlier, but the general rule stands. It is in this point of their lives that the matriarchy tells women to explore their options, fuck as many alpha studs as possible. Basically, the matriarchy tells women to drive their sports car as hard and fast as they can when it's new with no regard for the future. To say this is short-sighted is an understatement. When should women try to lock down a partner? Despite what the matriarchy tells women, women should try to lock down a partner when they're in their absolute physical peak, age 18 to 23. This is when women are the most likely to attract a partner that meets their hypergamous ideal. That is, of course, not what the majority of women do in the modern world. Instead, they sleep around an incredible amount or waste their time doing other things while not locking down a partner. Some women even seek a career and leave getting a solid partner till later in their lives. The matriarchy/women's upbringing has convinced them that they hold maximum value forever. Unfortunately, they do not. The world is totally unfair in this respect. Women are given an incredible gift, but not for very long. They need to capitalize on it quickly or be eternally miserable. What happens to women as they age? As women age, more and more women enter the marketplace in their rockstar phase. This means that women past the rockstar phase have to compete with women in their rockstar phase. This becomes harder and harder as they age until they're totally uncompetitive with new rockstar phase women. Effectively, they've rented their sports car too long without convincing anyone to buy it. As a result, no worthy owner is interested in that model of sports car anymore. They're too distracted by the new models available. Sadly, this leads to eternal misery for the woman that waited too long to lock down a partner. These women have waited so long and wasted so much time, they can only get suboptimal, subpar partners who are totally unattracted to them, betas. They then spend the rest of their lives torturing the beta, when really the problem was caused by her own poor decision making. Results of not locking down a high-value partner fast enough. I feel terribly about how I'm going to make some women feel by saying this, but I have to say it unfortunately. Women need to lock down a partner before it's too late. Women are very likely to get a partner they'll be okay with. They're very unlikely to get a partner they'll be okay with if they wait too long. When I say women can't wait too long, I mean they can't really wait past the age of 24 to get married. Women that do generally end up miserable in the long term as they've been unable to optimize their hypergamy. Unfortunately, that is not at all what society encourages women to do in the modern world. The matriarchy convinces women to get married around the age of 30. By that point, they're totally unable to compete for actually attractive men. Sadly, this leads to their misery. And here's the misery of the modern world. Much of the misery is due to the brainwashing of women and betas. If women were told the truth of their biology and how they would end up miserable by denying it, they would have a much greater chance at happiness. If betas were told how much they were being used and how underappreciated they actually are, they would understand that they needed to work harder to be masculine. Modern misery is largely due to the sports cars being rented and no one buying them, or the sports cars refusing to be bought. The matriarchy lies to women. The matriarchy lies to women in an attempt to make them feel good. The matriarchy tells women that they'll be pretty forever and able to optimize their hypergamy forever. They can't. Women that wait too long to lock down a man are on the path of eternal misery. You've been warned. At least someone told you. Prevent the problem. Appealing to your reason won't work, but here's my attempt anyway. Prevent the problem of your long-term misery by locking down an attractive man at a young age. That is the best time for you to do it. There is never a better point than in your rockstar phase, age 18 to 23. Remember that. The matriarchy has lied to you, but I won't. Conclusion. Women's attractiveness is like a sports car. It starts off extremely valuable, but if it's rented out too long and not bought, it's replaced by newer models. Women need to capitalize on their value and attract the best mate possible when they're best able to, and their rockstar phase when they're at peak attractiveness. If women do not capitalize on the opportunity they've been given, they're unlikely to find true happiness in the long term. The truth hurts, but is necessary to living a good life in the long term. Be wise.